Welcome back to the course. In this class, I'm going to be teaching you about wireframing. Now you may ask, what is wireframing and how is it important to what I'm doing? Now, wireframing is basically a skeletal representation of what your whole project is supposed to be like. More like a visual guide. It helps you know where certain things are at certain places at a certain time, right? So for example, it helps you tell you where the logo should be or where you think the image should sit best. And this gives you a more grand view of the whole project. Now you know where things are, where things shouldn't be, and you could a little bit move things around. This saves you time in your whole project, so you don't have to start the whole project, go far into it, and then have to come back again to start repositioning things. Now that's one important reason we use wireframes in our designs. Now, in the previous classes, I told you the different styles of the designs, and some of these design styles require wireframing more than others. That doesn't mean it's not important. Yes, it is. It's a very, very important aspect of designing. Now we understand what wireframing is and how it applies in the line of designing. We're going to look into a couple of examples here. In this class, I'm going to take you through two, and in the next class, we're going to walk through the remaining two. The first two we're going to walk through is a website layout, and then we're going to go through a book layout, and we'll see how wireframing works in these cases. Now let's get down to it. Although I'm using an iPad for this illustration, you could use a pen and a paper. Now, let me show you what a basic wireframing looks like. First, we have the outer box, right? This shows like this, more like my canvas. And then if I put this here, and then let's say I put dash, dash, dash here, and then I do this, and I cross that, and then I could say text here and here, and then the button here, right? And then I could put an icon here, text, text, and I can do splitter, I can do text, text, and I can do this button here. Now, basically what I've done is a skeletal wireframe of my website here that I'm developing, right? You can see that I have told you that at the top corner here, this is my logo. This is where I want my logo to be. So in wireframing, there's certain symbols we use to represent certain things. Like a box, let's move this over here. Like a box with a cross, it crossed out means an image is sitting there or an icon or something is sitting there. While lines mean text, body of text will be sitting there, right? Good. So from this layer, you could see that top here I have my, let me change the color of this so that we could see that clearly. Okay, so right here you could see that I have my logo here. Oh, why did my colors change? Yes, there, forgive me for that. So right here we could see my logo sitting here and it corresponds to this, right? And also we can see the icons here correspond to this. You see that? And also the text here, the image here, the whole image in the middle here corresponds to this, and likewise the same. But what does this give me? This helps me see, okay, I like this, I want to put this in, maybe the text is better here. Another reason why wireframing is important is that it helps you guide the reader or the viewer through the process of engaging with your visual piece, right? So I can say I want the logo top left because I want that to be the first thing to notice, or I want the image to be this big because I want it to be the center of attraction. So everything here plays a role, right? So now that is a basic example of a wireframe for a website. Now let's get to an example of a wireframe for a book. Okay. First, let's make the book a square, right? Let's make it 2 pages. Now there's the page on the left, let's call this page 1, PG1. And then on the right hand side, let's call this PG2, right? So I want the page to be continuous. I want the whole book to seem as one. So what I can do is I could draw this. Let's just put one here, put one here, and I'll put the title here. Let's just call this a title, right? Let's call this a title. And then I want images, so I could just do this. Yep. And I'll extend the image here. Oh, oops, that's too big. That's too big. Yeah. And then we continue here, and let's go here. So let's say I do that. What does that mean? It means it's an image, right? So let's put a text here. Text, ta 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 ta. That's a text. That means my body of text is going to be on the right hand side. So what have I established here? I like my title to be here. So here I could say, let's say author's name, or we could say book. Let's call this book title. And then here we could call this the author's name, right? And let's say I'll put an image here representing image showing or depicting the poem, right? Forgive my beautiful handwriting. And here on this other end, I will say this should be my body of text, right? So now we have everything in order. I want my book title to be up here, my author's name to be down here, and then the image to be centralized, split so that half of it is on the left, half of it is on the right. And that's just my layout. Remember, there are different ways you could do this, so it's just for you to be yourself and express yourself and do it how you feel best. But remember, you're guiding your audience through a journey, so you don't have to do it random. It has to be intentional, the purpose. So now let's see a final product of how it would look like if I eventually did this. Voila! Here you can see, just like before, we have the body, the title here, the caption, the author's name here, and we have an image, like we said, and a body of text. So you see how it all comes together and brings beauty. Now, if I didn't have my wireframe, I would have known or said, okay, where things should be and where things shouldn't be. So you see why wireframe is important. Now, from the examples we've just shown, you could see clearly the difference in wireframing for websites and wireframing for books. Yes, they have similarities in them, but the thing is, they have different functions of how each element is placed. So you need to keep a keen eye on that. Next class, I'm going to be walking you through 2 more examples, and then we can see how we could apply wireframing in other areas.